Good afternoon, Pioneer High School Band. Welcome to the annual Bandwagon Festival. My name is Bobby Rogers. I'm the professor of music at Woodland Community College, where I'm the only full-time faculty at the moment as we build a brand new program in a $34 million facility. And I'm the adjunct professor of music at Butte College, where I teach all the woodwind majors who are going on to be performance majors or music ed majors. I have 8 of those students. So I used to teach in Santa Rosa City Schools, 2002 to 2004, with your band director's dad when he was a public school teacher. So I'm excited to see John finally work after all the great Facebook posts about all of y'all, and go from there. So something to think about when tuning is I'm not sure that piano is probably in the best center of pitch. Maybe if you're at festival, maybe you have an oboe player or clarinet player that could give you a really good center of pitch. That'd be great. Hey, today as we work together, remember I'm just one guy giving you my opinion of music from all the things I've done through touring and playing a ton professionally and Broadway shows and all the things that I do in the world of music. So I am just going to give you my opinion. Take what you want, leave the rest. I hope my tips and tricks are helpful, and then we will enter clinic together and spend some time talking about music. So here we go with The Tempest. Good. Hey, clarinets, we'll talk a little bit about articulations. That opening articulation to me has a little too much tongue articulating. So how do we get a softer articulation? Good. I like the start. I like the beginning. Whoever's got the D, 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 don't drag it. Don't drag that rhythm. Remember, folks, that when we're playing in unison, okay, so first of all, you have a great sense of feel, great sense of time, articulation so far going well. So when we're playing in unison, whenever we play in unison, in my opinion, and we have more than like 2 people, we have to play softer, because unisons, if played with good tone and in tune, unisons will sound louder than they appear on the page. So we don't want to fully consume the ensemble like that. So sometimes I say, if we're playing unison and we have 4 alto saxes, play at a dynamic level softer. Okay, long notes. Long notes are not the important part. You are like the foundation of the house. You're just going to hold us harmonically in place. Let these ostinato patterns, Mr. Mayor can share with you a little more about da, 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 da. That's an ostinato pattern that repeats itself. Don't let that get in the way of the melody. Sax is, no. We got to make sure we bring that out and play that. I think it's an F sharp. I can't turn the page fast enough. Make sure we play that F sharp, really nice and in tune and tone. Okay, I think softs need to get way softer, friends. Like you gotta start crescendo softer to make a more dramatic impact on what's going on. End of a piece of music. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move at the end of the song. Take your time. Don't move at the end of the song. You have to freeze with Mr. Mayor, and don't move. Nobody moves. Nobody grabs music. Nobody shuffles in their chair. Nobody does any of that. Okay, so dynamics. Dynamics, I really need more contrast. I know it's a big band, but big bands can play with great dynamics too. Okay, so I think some articulation things are going well. I think some style is going well. I think we have to remember that long notes are not that important. Okay, let those melodies come through. Let those ostinato patterns come through a little bit, and sometimes the ostinatos can even be a little bit softer. And so we want to remember that in our interpretation of music and in our style of how we play things as well. And are we entering everything with the greatest sound we can possibly do? And sometimes that's like 10 attacks a day where we just work on a great articulation, a great starting articulation in the music. Okay, clarinets, saxophones, some tone things that we're going on through there. And then brass players, make sure you don't overpower everything in the work. Yeah, let's go ahead. Good, but rhythmically, note-wise, no questions. By the way, this is one of the most iconic pieces of wind band literature that actually modulates from parallel minor to parallel major. It's super beautiful. Yeah, I really think I'd float. This song is called Air for Band. Air is like a song without words. I'd take more time with this piece. It's too metronomic. I think once you kind of put the vertical notes and rhythms in place, then you can talk a bit more about floating time and rubatos and tenutos and stretching out suspensions in the music. It's just, I want it to float a little more. Okay, clarinet. So, all clarinet players squeak, but we got a super squeaker going on down there. Could be a reed issue. You should always have an extra reed on stage to make a change. And then clarinets is creating that really nice, soft entrance articulation. Da, dee, ya, dee. And really making this melody be like a long tone, okay? I feel like you're very, very note. You're playing by the note, but we need to start thinking about playing by the phrase. What can we do to phrase these things like a long tone, okay? That's just the next step of growth. And don't think that any of us play perfect. Okay, here's a challenge with slow music. Most people don't want to play it. It's also the most lyrical. It's the most musical. It also demonstrates your best tones and your best sounds. Okay, and clarinets, I don't feel like I'm necessarily getting that. There's a funky note in there, low brass, low reeds. Okay, I also think we have to lighten up the articulation. If I'm a conical bore instrument, like your low brass, tip of the tongue to the top of the teeth. If I'm a flute player, same thing. If I'm a clarinet player, saxophone player, somebody's using a reed, it's tip of the tongue to the tip of the reed. And I'm really trying to get the softest articulations. Like, I don't want to hear the tongue. Okay, so I'm over-articulating right now so you can feel what it's like if I'm over-tonguing. I want it to be much more subtle. We call it in orchestral land sostenuto. Yeah, Wins, we got to get this in tune. I literally look every day in my practice and ensembles I conduct. My goal is, how can I make things like 1% better every day? I think I would take the 6-note pickups into the key change, and I would work on trying to get those notes more in tune. And then woodwinds, the trill is not the most important thing here. There's an underlying line, la da da dee, ya, da, dee. There's an underlying line 2 bars before the end. The trill or the tremolo is not the melodic line. There's an 8-note line that Frank Erickson writes in here that's reminiscent of some of the material that was played earlier when we were in the minor tonality and coming back to it. So I need longer phrasing. I need softer articulations. I need you to play 3 long tones a day, really thinking about producing the nicest sound you can. If you're playing a reed instrument, man, it's miserable. It's raining outside. The reeds now maybe a little more damp. My reeds have changed since I've been up here for 2 days because I come in early and practice in the mornings because I have gigs. You know, you got to have more reeds and find a great reed that'll articulate, play tone, and that, you know, becomes your responsibility to make sure that you have 2 or 3 or 4 good reeds always in your work. Okay, so just a couple ideas there because intonation really exposes itself when you play slower music. All right, on to the locomotive chase. This is a fabulous piece of music. I've done it before with honor groups. Can you recite it to me, please? No, I'm just kidding. So, some questions for you. Because I live up in Woodland, it's up in Sacramento Valley, and sometimes we take day trips where we'll go to places. So we went recently to the town of Sonora, and we saw some of the old locomotive steam engines. You know, what do those things sound like? What are you trying to duplicate on this inanimate object of an instrument? Okay, you're really trying to recreate a locomotive chase. Sure, it's got notes and rhythms. It's got all kinds of really hip percussion parts. Or like old folk song melodies like we're playing now. Listen to some of them. I talked earlier about tuning to the piano. Remember, you're a horn here. I might try to scoop that pitch a little more at the end of that note. Boom. I'd turn your flute in a little bit in the head joint and try to get that note to drop. As you hear the whistle go by, it sounds flatter in pitch. I think I might have, at the beginning of the gig, tuned to a clarinet, and then this song, I might have retuned the band again to the piano a little bit more. Good. Good, you're taking all this seriously. I like it. Sometimes people are goofy with these sections. Good, nice job. You got to build up the speed here. Try not to breathe after trills. I think if I were all of you, I would have taken maybe a larger breath, played a little bit softer whenever you entered, and not breathe before the downbeat of 29 because it loses a little energy. Give way to the saxophones. Okay, flutes, we got to match the style of the saxophones, or saxophones, we got to pick a style that we can play consistently because I'm getting a little different interpretation of this melody. Yeah, there's some notes in here I don't agree with. Jata, ta 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 ta. You got to think t t t t. Listen to this snare drummer for time. The snare drummer's giving you the division of the pulse. That's the time. It's not the quarter note, it's the eighth note. Good, I like the balance of the cymbals. That's not totally taken over. Yeah, trombones don't blast. Okay, crescendos and anything we play has to be done with good tone. Double forte, you should add at the end with a good sound. No blatty tones, no Friday Night Football tones, okay? Breathe. You sound tired. Gotta breathe. Good, we'll talk a little bit about this in today's clinic. Good. Hey, you know what? If it was me, maybe I'd just let the saxophone kind of dictate a little bit of time through there instead of keeping it so metronomic. And I know it's always our goal as conductors to think about that, but I think there's times we can be a little bit more expressive. Good. Hey, low brass, low reeds. I don't agree with every articulation here, and that every note is played with your $100 amazing tone. Okay, and we have to do that when we're playing music. Every note is deserving of getting its best sound that's possible. I don't know, man. I might play this fast section without a conductor, and you all watch time, listen for time, because I don't feel we're very vertically together right now, and entrances are a little jagged. They tug a little on time. There's a little 3/4 rhythm there. Wasn't quite precise. D da 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 at 131. Good. Hey, saxes and actually, I'm sorry. It's clarinets and flutes. We got to match trill styles. Okay, so if we're going to play 16th note trills, can we all do it together? You know what I would do on that last chord? It's G minor chord, I think my ear hears. I would play dum, dum, and I would build that chord. And I would just try to get that G minor chord to have a good resonant sound and then practice the bump of the music, okay? Because I felt like the chord was a little underperformed per se in sound production. So I wanted to hear a little more resonant chord in the work. So this is a good band. You read notes, you read rhythms well. I'm just one guy who's sitting up here with my views on music of many years of conducting bands and professional orchestras, because I conducted Santa Rosa Youth Symphony for 13 seasons, the professional orchestra. Just my observation of music. Anything I have to say is just my opinion. It's a great performance. There's a lot of good things going on. It's great after all these years to see Pioneer High School doing so well. Some things to think about. We all have intonation issues, but try every day to fix one unison note that's really out of tune. do one thing for rhythmic precision. We're going to try it in the workshop, but I want to take the end of this piece and just let the snare drum keep time, and you work on trying to like vertically make things clean in entrances, clean in releases. Do we know where that division of time is? So the quarter note is not always the time. I feel like your technique is pretty darn good. There's some good musicality going on. We're doing some dynamic things. We're doing some phrasing things. Again, a really good ensemble. You should be proud of everything you're doing. And these are just things to take your playing to the next step. And I always call them opportunities for growth. And we always have those to do. So I look forward to our clinic time. Thank you so much. I think your literature is absolutely appropriate for the ensemble. It's great, some great fun selections to listen to. Thank you so much for coming to the Annalee Bandwagon Festival.
Good morning to Pioneer High School Symphonic Band, Mr. Mayor, and welcome to the Annalee Bandwagon Festival here in October of 2025. My name's Craig Bryant. I am the band teacher at Albany High School and also the president of CMEA Bass Section, and I'm thrilled to be hearing you this morning. I'll make some comments that I hope will be helpful as you guys prepare for winter and fall concerts and such. And I think this is such a great event that we can have a festival here in the fall. So, nice looking group, big group, love it. Seeing some two tubas is really nice. And yeah, I really appreciate the discipline and the focus. All right, be back with you once we start. Okay, I'm going to make a couple comments about this. The bang, like the piano, I think just, you don't have to hit it as much. And we might take one pitch for woodwinds and one for brass separately. So maybe just woodwinds on A and brass on B flat. And when I tune, the piano can kind of ring with the pedal down, and you want to enter and have just be like 20% your volume and kind of fade in, and then that way everybody can hear the tuning note. I think it was kind of hard for everybody to kind of see what they were trying to do, but we're tuned up and ready to go. Here we are, the Tempest. Nice rhythmic pulse from our flutes. A little bit of phasing front to back with the mallet percussion. It's hard to be far away, to be glued to your teacher. Everybody got to subdivide all the way through. Good job. Good start. Very exciting. Sometimes it sounded, I can't quite tell what it was, because it sounded like a trumpet might have been taking it up an octave. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, yep. Yeah, it could be the violin. I don't know. It was like... Yeah, classic jams, man. I think I like having the extra bottom with the electric basses, but make sure that they're not covering up the actual like low reed contra tuba sound. And so we're like boom, 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 and we can actually hear the what's missing was kind of like the articulation. So there's like the accent one, there's the unmarked notes, and there's the tenuto notes and such. So we kind of hear that. And then just from a tempo aspect, I like the excitement. It's our first tune and all that stuff. But it sometimes was like wanting to rush a little bit. And I think that kind of caused some of the, like, what I called phasing or whatever, like the little repeated ostinato rhythm and the mount percussion and the flutes. Like that grid was getting kind of like stretched, if you will. Oh, what's your key signature? All right. Let's just play covered and lyrical. Everything should be piano, right? And those clarinets are pretty loud. So this is all. We need this air behind the sound to sustain and connect, but less volume. And like we have to work to play this piece at a slower tempo. It doesn't have to crawl, but we're pretty much going like 100 beats a minute right now, right? If we could get to the 80 range, that is a happy medium, right? Going 68 beats a minute can be like watching paint dry. And I think to the students, I'm like, what makes this piece a classic or whatever, if you will? Like we all played it, like your teacher said. It's the chromaticism. It's the counterpoint, the little moving eighth notes. All right. When we think about balance and blend, one of the biggest things we talk about in band class, I hope, which is highs, middles, and low voices, right? And then within that, who needs to be the most important? And sometimes, like I'm hearing, like the bari sax and the electric basses kind of just like covering most everybody else. Sometimes they're playing the right notes and rhythms, which is hip, but catch your key, guys. We changed key. G sharp. Yeah, good last chord when we got there. It got a little murky through letter E, right? So, different ways to rehearse this. You can, like, bop play, so everybody just kind of, like, play just the start of each note. Bop, 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 bop. And that can, like, if you put a metronome on with 8 notes at a slower speed, you can keep everybody honest, because I think not everybody's subdividing. So then the piece will go faster, and we have to go faster to kind of make it hold together. So I think there would be that. There's some key signature things and some weirdnesses, especially those G sharps about 5th bar E. And then it just making sure that everybody's on the same page about being the same energy. I was kind of alluding to that before. Like, how do we address balance and blend? We can do it in terms of, like, dynamics. We can do it in terms of, like, we always want to hear the low voices, sustaining more or whatever. But we can also just kind of, we have to be mindful, like, if at the end of that piece, I want to be like a 7 or 8 out of 10 in terms of intensity, and based on the number of people playing my note, or in the range I'm playing, or I can't like steamroll people and play a 10. Bobby, what a comedian. So anyway, I think just making sure we're always listening for each other, and no one person should be like sticking out. Okay. All right, The Great Locomotive Chase, another classic. The Great Locomotive. Let's make this be like slower, maybe more mysterious. On that, that's a silly thing, but on that, all the way to 1. It's a cooler effect. All the way to 1. All the way to 1. Shh. Shh. So. The snare drum should be on 16ths. Chicka-digga, 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 digga-digga, digga-digga, digga. Yeah, so we've got to match note length and style here on all these unison woodwind licks. Ba ba da dia da dia da 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 da, and we had various interpretations. I mean, the cool thing is the band can play. Everybody can do stuff. So this is just refinement. Good job, trombones. We need it. If you don't have a kabasa, you can use a shaker, or you can use brushes on the snare drum or something else. But the rim clicks, it needs a different texture. And this is, or you could can the kabasa entirely and just go to the hi-hat. Excuse me. Nice alto. Let's slow that down, more writ, and then let's play much slower and much quieter to set up this new aggressive section. All right, cool. Good job, you guys. Bum 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 bum. Trill. Full value quarter. Bum, and then like 3 or 4 seconds. Like, I don't know if you ever got a chance to see a real steam train or something. It's pretty cool. You can find one on YouTube or whatever, but they really go the steam lasts longer than So I think I would try to do that. As I kind of mentioned, is like when we have similar things from section to section, like there's that big block where it's like all the woodwinds are playing. Bum, 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 bum. Are we matching energy? Are we matching dynamic level? Are we matching pitch, obviously? Are we matching articulation? Are we matching note length? Are we like... It's like there's some of those issues kind of all over the band. Where I want to applaud you for is everybody's contributing. Now you just kind of have to like organize and just make sure you're good. I love your discipline. I love your focus to your teacher. I love that he's talking to you about the pieces of music and giving you we call it perspective or like context. I think the general pulse of the band is good, but we sometimes get excited and rush. And I was hoping to do a clinic, but my colleague Bobby's going to do the clinic, which is basically to say this to you. I want to say this is like, if you can get the music to groove and feel good, it won't want to rush. And it can still be really thrilling. And it can still be the same speed, but it's got that feeling of kind of like a little dangerous. And I hope you'll work to like make it be exciting, but not that like it might fall apart sort of type thing. Slower slows. I think you're fast enough. I think when we play at a loud volume, sometimes the beauty of our sound kind of goes away. Always play with your most beautiful sound, powerful sound, but don't go into a place where it morphs into like a honk, if you will. All right. Really enjoyed hearing you today. Thank you for being here at the Bandwagon and Band Festival, and look forward to hearing you guys at some point later in the year, and have a great Halloween in a couple weeks. All right, take care.